Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge and happy Sneaky Saturday. I'm going to preface this by saying I had a whole other video recorded, but I decided to scrap it. But first, a little special shout out to Pain Shopping, who pointed out a bunch of different things that were changed in this week that weren't mentioned in the news. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. Most of the changes actually had to do with updated NPC horses, just kind of moving around and stuff, being added to different places, mostly with the American Saddlebred and some of the Ardennes. And we did also catch a couple in this Wednesday's update video, including the new sales shop little feature thing, as well as the Farah's icon that's on the minimap. As of recording this video, there's still no toggle to make it optional, but I digress. And to be honest, I wasn't going to post a video today because the video that I recorded, it didn't seem like anything was so monumental that it kind of needed to be pointed out in an update. But I did notice something riding around, and I did just confirm it, and I figured that this might be somewhat notable. That's because a texture has changed, and I know it's probably like a silly thing, but I don't know what this means. You might also be wondering, that's a weird place that you're standing. This isn't really like, you know, the whole like aesthetic forest thing that you usually stand in front of. Well, I mean, we've got a reason, and it's this slab. I apologize for talking fast today. It's already 12:43 and I would have normally liked to have a video like this out at 11. So we're gonna go fast. So I am standing on what is the final slab that you build when you're working on the gondola system to get up to Mario's observatory. Now, on my side account that I'm working through all the stories, I don't think the slabs are even there anymore because the last thing that I did was actually blow them up so that we could build new ones, but I don't have a quest to actually build new ones and I can't figure out how to trigger it. I'm working on it. But you can kind of see the difference between the bottom slab texture and the top, I guess, pillar texture. The top pillar texture is definitely like the older, more like photorealistic style textures that Star Stable used to do, and the bottom is definitely more the cartoony, soft style graphics that we well, at least I love in Star Stable now. I definitely prefer this texture style versus the old. Anyways, you can tell that it kind of doesn't really fit in, and I noticed that it was odd, but I didn't know why it was odd until I went to Nilmer's Highland to try and cross the bridge into Epona or to Wolf Hall Inn. And would you look at the texture of those blocks that don't seem to fit into the surroundings that they're at. They don't match the bridge. They are definitely the new matching style. They're the same texture, just albeit a little bit smaller. But it's the same texture, or at least it's the same softness of the block. But that's also not the only other place that I've seen this texture, because I also spotted it in Cape West Fishing Village near this like water mill house. Seeing it here is really what prompted me to make this video because, I mean, I think that this being here is relatively new. I remember maybe the gondolas being updated a little while ago, but I mean, I don't know. I don't remember seeing this like this, and it's definitely out of place. In fact, I actually went back into my video history to see if I could figure out when these changes were made. And I have some interesting information. So in winter of 2022, I did a video about how to get Jorvik shillings, and I mostly talked about fossils and archaeology in Epona. And I did briefly go through the race. Unfortunately, the clip cut off like right at this area, but you can see that the blocks are definitely the old ones. So at least winter of 2022, they were a different texture. Fast forward to January 2023, on my side story account, I was working on fixing the bridge, and once I replaced the concrete blocks, you can see that they're also the old texture. And finally, most recently, in April of 2024, literally a month ago, the texture for the gondola building thing was different. Granted, I don't know if that's just like an old texture because the quests that I found them in, they were being removed. Actually, I kind of blew myself up a couple of times during that quest, but it was the old texture. I don't know if you redo the quest now, literally a month later, if the texture is updated or if the texture gets updated after you replace those footings. I have no idea. I won't know. I mean, I guess I still won't know even after I replace the footings once I get that quest. And I'm not going back through the story a third time. Not yet, anyway. I'm still planning on running around a little bit more today and for the rest of the weekend to see if I can find this texture anywhere else. But if you know anywhere else where this texture might appear, let me know. I'm not a game developer, I'm not a game designer, but if I can use some other knowledge that I have think about it like Minecraft. So Minecraft, when you update a texture for like a texture pack, it replaces all items of that same texture with the new texture. And I'm wondering if that's what's happening here. I don't know if the team is working on something secret and this is one of the textures that they're using in whatever they're building. So they were updating the texture to fit the new build, but it also replaced the texture in all of the things that it was previously used in. I don't know. It could also just be a case where they're slowly updating textures to just kind of replace as every update. Again, I don't know. They haven't really talked about that in any blog posts if that's one of their initiatives. So yeah, I made a whole video about a stone block. Let me know which camp you sit in. Do you sit in they're updating something and this texture is involved, so it updated more things than anticipated? Or if you think they're just updating one-off textures just cause, or a secret third thing? You tell me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more, including whatever this was. And I will see you all at next week's video for another weekly update. Bye!